Hey everybody, Jason Bermas here, and I am back off the road. It feels good to be in my own studio. As a lot of you know, over the last several months, and really year plus, I have been hammering home the topic of transhumanism, and that's what I gave my speech on overall in Batavia, New York at the Reawaken America tour. Now, later on, I am going to play just this segment from Eisenhower and the military-industrial complex because he talks about the global populace being beholden to a scientific elite. And I actually got this story, which is going to be an exclusive. I don't think this is anywhere else out there. While I was on the tour, and I got a call from a friend. This is my source. I want to leave it as vague as possible. And he told me about the United Nations International School. Now, I was unaware of what the United Nations International School was, but if you go to unis.org, you find out, okay, that these people have a program from pre-kindergarten. Let me repeat that. Pre-kindergarten all the way through the 12th grade. And the United Nations is now promoting the idea from the World Health Organization, because this is all a modus operandi of disconnecting you from your humanity and telling you that you can be fluid, while they enrage people through sexualizing children in many cases. I mean, that's the part a lot of people get with this, and wait till you see what they have in the halls. But at these schools now, we're going to be going through, it's not just the gender-bred person, okay? It's much, much more. And the World Health Organization has come out with this gender and health agenda, all right, where they've got new science apparently. That's what they keep telling us. Trust the science. There's new science. You're a bigot if you don't believe the new science. And that's another thing you're going to see in this. They are indoctrinating your children on another level. Remember, sex is not limited to male or female. This is the new science. And they are going to be promoting gender ideology. Here it is, the World Health Organization. You know, it exists on a continuum that sex is not limited to men or women. And as soon as non-binary came into the picture, you should have understood that's what this agenda is. All right, they want you to believe eventually that you can transcend this body and upload your consciousness into their machines, into their simulations, and you are not flesh and blood. You are not spirit, consciousness, and soul. You're nothing more than a computer program that can be replicated again and again and again. You are zeros and ones. Okay? So I get the call, and we're going to go through these from a friend. And I want to reiterate that there are young children in these schools. It runs the gamut. I know a lot of people argue, well, if they're in high school, you know, they're going to have to deal with these things anyway. First of all, let's look at this first one, okay? And it's a Black Lives Matter and then a painted lesbian couple, all right? So the Black Lives Matter has the heart. What happened to works of kids in the hallways? Paintings, drawings, history lessons. They don't care about our Constitution, our Bill of Rights, our way of governance, because the United Nations overall is the front for that authoritarianism and new global governance. Davos is now the mouthpiece, and the World Health Organization is who the technopoly pretend to bend the knee to. They give the scientific directives. You get it? You understand? So let's bring it on over, and you'll find out that love is love in the corner. So once again, you know, these are the things that are up on the hallway. Let's get to the next picture. And again, this isn't exclusive, folks. This person just could not believe what they were seeing in these hallways. The 10 most gay-friendly countries. Now, they missed the Q in here, but it's the LGBT nomads. Belgium, Ireland, apparently. They will find extensive clubs, bars, hotels, and other institutes around gay culture in Ireland, apparently, is what they're telling us. Here's Portugal. Thriving gay life in Western European nation, as well as being known for particularly beautiful and fun-loving people. I mean, think about this. They're telling you where to visit if you're gay in a school, in a young school. Meanwhile, there's the fists, there's the medals, there's the hearts. Look at this propaganda. Let's just round it out as we get to the next one. Argentina, Uruguay, the Philippines, Brazil, Israel, and South Africa. Okay? So that's the nomadcapitalist.com. I'm sure you'll find all sorts of goodies there. So here's where, you've got to start trusting the science even more. There are LGBTQ black communities, the need, and LGBTQ Latinx communities. You thought our last one, we can't even get, there are charts. There's fine print. They've got pie charts. That's how important. This is the new school. This is what the United Nations is pushing. All right? I will raise as much as I can for equality. And I will stand up for what I believe in. And apparently what you're supposed to believe in is that men and women no longer exist. Okay? I will bring anyone and everyone out for LGBT. See, they don't have the Q on that one. I know my lower third is blocking that. But I want you to take a look because we're about to get into it. Proud are the brave. And now we have a male cross-dresser here. Be true to you. Pride at Eunice. They have the love symbol again. All that matters is that we are in love. Love knows no gender and no hate. This Pride Month, let's celebrate and flaunt our true colors and be proud of it. And by the way, I want to just let everybody know, this person recently sent me, this goes well beyond Pride Month. Okay, we got two more here. Okay, the Be True to You again, Pride at Eunice, more drag queens. Lovely. Again, they go to pre-K through high school. This is now what's being taught everywhere. All right. And then yet another one, Happy Pride Month, Pride at Eunice. And they've got the little gender rainbow symbols there. It's great stuff. And by the way, I just want to point out Sustainable Development Goals also there. And notice number 5 is gender. Yeah, they're right, because they don't want you to have a family. They don't want a traditional man and woman. They don't want you reproducing. You get it? Zero hunger, no poverty, quality education. Really? Does anything you're seeing in the hallways here have to do with a quality education? Decent work and economic growth. Decent. Reach for the stars. Sustainable cities and communities. Oh, yeah. And there it is right there. Equality of gender. Igualdad de género. I probably butchered that. I'm not Hispanic. I'm sorry. I hope I didn't appropriate anything. Peace and justice. And remember, let's just bring this up for a moment. We've got health for peace and peace for health with the World Health Organization. And the dove and the sustainability. And, it might as well be the genderbread person, because you notice that Mother Earth with the cloud now has a mustache. And we don't know how they identify. Okay? And here it is. It's for a better world, apparently. That's what they're telling me. Eunice. So, I want to show people this military-industrial complex clip, because I think, again, it's important. I think a lot of people cut it short. It's actually 16 minutes. altogether, his whole entire speech. I'd encourage people to check out the whole entire thing, as it is a must watch. But here's about a minute and a half, and this was included in my presentation because not only did he tell you it was a spiritual battle, he really laid out that science could be bought, that it could be manipulated, and it could be taken hold of by a quote-unquote scientific elite. So let's let Mr. Eisenhower speak.
This man, Eisenhower, a lot of people remember the military-industrial complex speech he gave. Now, I got about a 1.5-minute clip here, and I think it's important because he talks about a scientific elite, and he also talks about how this is a spiritual battle, which we'll get into in a moment.
Whether foreign or domestic, great or small, there is a recurring temptation to feel that some spectacular and costly action could become the miraculous solution to all current difficulties. The total influence, economic, political, even spiritual, is felt in every city, every state house, every office of the federal government. We recognize the imperative need for this development, yet we must not fail to comprehend its grave implications. Our toil, resources, and livelihood are all involved. So is the very structure of our society. In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex. The potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists and will persist. For every old blackboard, there are now hundreds of new electronic computers. The prospect of domination of the nation's scholars by federal employment, project allocations, and the power of money is ever present and is gravely to be regarded. Yet in holding scientific research and discovery in respect, as we should, we must also be alert to the equal and opposite danger that public policy could itself become the captive of a scientific, technological elite.
And we're there. We're there. Okay? They're declaring this stuff. They're saying new science is here. They're indoctrinating the children. Again, that is inside the United Nations' own schools. Their international school system, folks. And I want to reiterate, this is all on the way to a quote-unquote virtual age. Okay? It is a virtual age. You look at this, and you understand that the World Economic Forum and, you know, these virtual influencers, right? Whereas the the good people at the WEF. Let's see, do we have, there's the gender stuff. Where did I put it? Is it right here? No, that's the school children in masks, loving life. Did I lose my metaverse stuff? You know what, we'll do it live, and we'll just show you that the metaverse is defining this with the World Economic Forum. Okay? Going from theory to practice, metaverse to governance, economic and societal value. And again, all about sustainability. I bring you to this document because I have to just keep citing it. When it tells you that we're in the bio-nano era right now, okay? And we're there. Underneath is the virtual era. It's being blocked off there. My audience should know about it by now. Here we go. The virtual era. And when we get to that, the guy who wrote this, the lifelong bureaucrat, tells you this is a post-human world, human contaminated machines. We should never let it get that far. We've already let it get too far. And this is a new step. It's so you can identify as anything. Make no mistake about it. Because, you know, we have these organizations such as Calico. All right? And this is Google's immortality arm with the likes of Ray Kurzweil, Mr. Singularity. He'll sell you on a virtual age where you're going to have 3D printers that'll materialize anything, and you don't have to teletravel because virtual reality is going to be so good. Look, some of those technologies will become available, but They will make actual life more and more difficult and more invasive to humanity and restrictive to humanity and forcible to institute their utopia as they use the technology to benefit themselves and enslave the rest of us. And that's part of that is to trick you again into believing you can upload your consciousness. Folks, I am a documentary filmmaker, but if you didn't make it out to the Reawaken America tour, I was able to actually post that over on YouTube. It's right here. The Occultist Transhumanism Virtual Nightmare Exposed. It's also over on Rockfin where you can support me. Thank you to all you premium people out there. $9.99 a month or $99.99 for the year. A ton of uncensored stuff. In fact, we give it all away for free, but as you can see, Mel K in the flesh, Health is a Choice, Peter Thiel and Transhumanism, my interview with the Epoch Times reporter, Thomas Renz is up there. I got a couple more coming up that I'll be putting up there exclusively. My interview with Clay Clark outside of, what was it, Dave's Ice Cream before the event. All really good stuff. We're over on Podbean. We're rumbling. Thank you so much, Rumble. You can find everything over there as well, uncensored. That's a great thing. Buy me a coffee if you can support me. $5, $10, $15. It means the world to me. Big supporters. I wouldn't have been able to do it without you this time. I'm telling you right now. Everything is so expensive. I couldn't believe how, now that everything's going back, hotels were expensive. Even my flight home was expensive. I was going to take a train. The train was going to be like 27 hours and just as expensive. So I'm glad to be back in the saddle. We're going to really try to stick to at least 3 videos a day, so expect 2 more coming. I love you guys. It is not about left or right. It is always about right and wrong. I'll see you all on the flip side.